Chinedu. We're talking about the alleged forgery, but yet the resignation of a minister thanks to allegations of forgery. The former Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Naji. Well, he said he didn't resign because of guilt, but because he needed to step aside in order not to disrupt the renewed hope agenda of the president. He also says the allegations were plans by his political enemies to destroy his name. Well, I'm asking important questions. What does the alleged certificate forgery say about the government's ability to properly screen and verify appointees? How might incidents like this affect public trust in the administration and its commitment to accountability? 0817 923 0002 0817 0003. Tap is 080 906 416. Finally, the investigation says Uche Naji forges he should refund all this he has received as federal government 419 and go free. This is a criminal offense. Okay. So hopefully the investigation is swift and thorough. Good evening. Bandits use motorcycles freely. They should introduce motorcycle permits to curb insecurity. That's from our previous conversation. Okay. Okasam has moved hard facts to hard romance. A new day has come. Alex from Woji, my brother, I apologize sincerely. Shows that love has loved me. Malachi says, good evening. Resignation of Naji as minister, I think, is political, not necessarily as a result of certificate forgery. He resigned to become the APC governorship flag bearer in upcoming election in 2027. By so doing, stopping the incumbent governor from defecting to APC to claim the ticket. That's just the game. Malachi from Port Harcourt. Malachi, are you kidding? Because I see a smiley emoji here. I'm sure there are countless ways for him to have pulled that off if this is the case. No, come on. No, there's no way. There's no way I'm going with this. All right. The Naji case is unfortunate. This is the kind of country we found ourselves. Gift calls from Port Harcourt. Hello, Gift. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Please, I want to talk on the matter for the nomination of Naji, Prime Minister.
Yeah, go ahead.
In my own opinion, I would say that the same premier who looked into a certificate, they should also investigate that of our president. And will be the same story over there. Are you with me?
I'm listening.
Okay.
Okay.
So they should checkmate that of our president as well.
Okay. All right, Gift. I thought you were going to say more. I kept waiting. Yes, the president has a certificate controversy around his neck from around he was running in 2023. And lots of people have asked questions about his certificate. If Naji could resign, why did the president not resign? What happened to the salaries and allowances he has received for the past 2 years? Jackson from Iba is asking. Matthew Jonathan on WhatsApp says, I'm surprised with the alleged certificate forgery. Was he not screened before he was confirmed? I believe his resignation is timely. Also, it is supposed to be for good investigation and outcome. Other ministers should also be investigated to see how genuine their certificates or whatever their claims are. I mean, that's what would need to happen now. But it's sad because normally we are supposed to trust the screening process. We are supposed to. And that's why I said normally. Apparently, these are abnormal times. JJ calls from Rumibo. Hello, JJ.
Yes, so Sam, I greet you this evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much, Sam.
Go ahead.
Sam, you're talking about that, is it, I think Naji, right?
Yeah.
That is not happy. And it's not the best of time for him right now.
That's right.
It's not the first and will not be the last. His own is even far more important than that of Kemi Adeosun. Kemi Adeosun's own was, what they call
NYC. NYC, yeah.
Yes. And you know that he didn't school here. He schooled abroad. And was supposed to get those stuff, and the secretary are bringing exemption for him, and all those, you know the rest of the story. This one is somebody on his own that claimed that this is the school I attended, and at the end of the day, this is what happened. But I want to play the devil's advocate here. remember a colleague of mine those days went to India for a course, right?
Yeah.
He was staying somewhere in India, like an hostel, where it is, and also the school he attended, right?
Okay.
Now, at the time, there was no money sent from Nigeria to him. So he has to do whatever he needs to do to make sure that he finishes that course. And the money that was sent to him towards the end of that course, he now deemed it to say, okay, let me clear my school fees so that I can get my certificate. While he was leaving that hostel, he now told them, sir, let me drop my certificate with you people to guarantee that you have something. Then when I get to Nigeria, I will send the money. Then you will now send my certificate across. I hope you understand the story.
Yeah.
You know what the Indian guys did?
It was a collateral.
They said, no, that they cannot do that. That if you are dropping your certificate, what about what you have in your brain? Will you also drop it here? I don't know if you understand.
I do.
Yes, he may have done whatever he has done. Is he doing the job? Is he capable of doing the job? Although, in another vein, why should you go lie? And all the people that screened, you know the process. Oh, the DSS. Oh, the ITPC. Oh, the APC. The all the people that screened, they say, okay, how come they did discover that this is what happens? I will say at all. But if I conclude, I will tell you that it's high time we look at competence. Can this guy do this job? Instead of all this certificate, that. Not the certificate put up for the problem what we did today. Bring people that can do this thing. Some of these small boys that will use army to chase, us in the name of escort from here. Some of them are carpenters. Some of them are bricklayers. But they are good at their job. I've told you about a guy who brought from New Zealand who was doing everything, operating a transforming machine, welding, fitting, everything. The guy is just a warehouse himself. Until we do that, we'll keep having this problem. Everybody will be changing certificate and nothing.
All right.
Question, please.
No questions. Thank you very much, JJ. I am Braid calls from OGRA. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sam.
Good evening.
Sam, what is the certificate that the highest body takes to office as presidency?
I think it's is it first school living certificate?
Okay.
Yeah, either that or secondary. I know it's low.
A minister or National Assembly member think of having degree?
Why must he think of having a degree?
Having a degree, yeah.
Well, it's important.
The highest position of the land will be school cert or first school living certificate. And some of these people will go and forge results and come and get the office. At the end of the day, I want to ask, His Energy, is he resigning or the presidency asked him to resign? Is it voluntary? Hello, sir.
I'm listening. Okay, you asked. Yeah, so officially he resigned, but...
Is it voluntarily or
yes.
He was pressurized?
Well, the news in the news is that he resigned, but underground reports by some newsmen who say they heard from official sources, of course, which you may not be able to quote, claim that he was advised by the presidency to resign to avoid being fired.
And the presidency has not been advised. Presidency also have the same certificate saga. Do you remember?
Yeah, we all remember.
Up to this moment, the presidency has not been advised to resign and pay back the whole money that has been paid to him by Nigerians. And Energy should also refund all the money has been paid. It is high time we tell ourselves the truth. Look at the people that can do the job. Forget about that certificate. Whose certificate helps? Certificate does not help anybody in this country. Rather, it jeopardizes this country, and we are getting it wrong on a daily basis.
Okay.
Have a very fantastic evening.
All right. Thank you, I am Braid. But I beg to differ on this particular issue for a couple of reasons. For some positions, qualification is actually important and certificate does help. If I say that Minister of Health has been appointed and I don't tell you what the person does, you will assume that it's medical professional, right? Of course, you would expect that the Chief Justice of the country is a legal practitioner. So for those ministries, certificate is very important. We have to be honest. Yes, there are people who may not have the paper qualification to back it up. But there are specialized ministries that you cannot joke with. And I want to believe that Naji's ministry should be one of those. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology that doesn't know anything about science would be a mistake. Lawson calls from Ada George. Hello, Lawson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I heard you mention health. Now, my discussion is, if we say health, who should actually be the minister?
What?
Is it the person who read health management, or the person who had done medicine, that is a professional medical doctor?
Well, I can't tell, but the person should be a medical practitioner at some level, right?
Yeah. Again, I also want to toe the line of I am braid on the aspect of, except for those that specifically it perhaps the law provides that they should be a qualified person in such areas. Example that you gave, which is for the Ministry of Justice, which should be handled by a lawyer. However, we have always used the American standard for ourselves. What is the qualification to become the President of America? There's no certificate there. If you can perform, that is it. So even in Nigeria that we are, let me give you another more important example. NNPC, the standard for NNPC, the standard for the employment there is that it's either you're a first class holder or you have second class upper. What is the state of NNPC in Nigeria? All the persons there, they are all first class, engineering first class, whatever you want to do, all second class upper. But can you, that NNPC, is it an organization that we can boast of that it is first class holders that are running it? Does this show? Go to our refinery, everything is broken down, everything. All the engineers that are there, all those who read engineering, and look at them. They have gone to training, Switzerland, all this one, all of them, plus their first class, but they have run it aground. But I tell you, give that NNPC to somebody who does not have, even if just the first school is the first school living certificate. Persons that have not gone to school are running businesses that can compete with NNPC.
Okay.
If you go to look at people running businesses, transport, without first class degree, but look at so perhaps my own position, I also told the same line with them. If the person can do the job thoroughly and give us results, let's forget about. And I tell you, those people who have first class, they don't do better than those who have come out with third class or even pass, because some persons have come out in that position with some certain situation. But that's not to encourage that people should go into forgery. That's the aspect that, for me, is wrong. But this educational qualification before you get an office, our standard is United States. What is the standard for United States? No degree.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lawson, thank you very much. I understand and agree to a certain extent, right? My position was and still is, okay, first of all, the lowest certificate for you to run for president in Nigeria is school sat, not first school living certificate, school sat. And school sat is WAEC, right? With your WAEC, you're very free to run. Now, while that's the case for the president, you understand that leadership, whether it's monarchy, democracy, works better based on the advisors the leader surrounds himself with. While school sat is enough to be Nigeria's president, the president very graciously and wisely appoints members of his cabinet. And depending on the ministry, for some, there is specialized skill required. We were all in this country when former President Olusegun Obasanjo went and pulled Okonjo-Iweala from the World Bank. She was not hungry. She was not looking for a job. In fact, with some resistance and reluctance on her part to come and head finance ministry in this country. And regardless of your thoughts and opinions about her, we all know she did a fantastic job in that ministry. So, yes, there are those who just know. But there are ministries you cannot joke with. There are ministries where you require the expertise, the capacity, and the certification. We can't deny it. So my position is, we need to understand what ministries require that level of capacity and not joke with it. That's where I'm coming from. Ifyok from Agri Road. Hello, Ifyok.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm just want to talk about the Niger issue.
Yeah.
The reason why I even called is just because, like most people are calling now talking about the issue, the problem is within us, the system. Because we are in a system in a country that if you have a brother in a place in an office and it's a place that can maybe give you a work and is not able, or you went there and it screened you out that you are not qualified for that job, you will say your brother doesn't help you. So most of the appointment they give in the country, they give in terms of maybe rewards for what you did to them. Maybe you participated in election they gave. They didn't screen because that's why anybody they take it to House or Assembly, National Assembly to screen for any ministerial appointment. You see all of them will take a bow and go. Except the one the president doesn't want you to go or the governor doesn't want you to be there before they can screen you out. So they are not even looking at whether you have the qualification to be there or not. Just as a forms of reward. And all this thing boils down in a kind of environment and society that we are growing up from. You look at somebody who write jam and has a result and went to take attitude test and have a result and have a cutoff point. But for him to be admitted in the school, he have to go and do some sort of before they can take him. So you grown up with that kind of mentality and then now finding way to the government. How would you think the system would be? So I was surprised when I went to one company. I saw this expatriate. He doesn't even know how to speak English, but the guy was very perfect in whatever he's doing. He fixed things that people here could not fix.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to know. If he doesn't need to know how to speak English. That's just proficiency in a language. It's not intelligence.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. What I'm telling you now, like we now, they will say about like certificate issue. They will need that you have social things, you have like this, but you are not perfect in what you are doing. So your performances should be more than your certificate. If you can know what you are doing, they take you there and fix things. That's the area I'm talking about.
All right, thank you very much. I have just 1 minute. I think it's wrong to step aside or resign because the person petitioning you is your enemy. So if you resign, which means your enemy has won, don't try anything at all. Just be calm and stay loyal because you already know you are innocent of the accusation. Because if you follow the tune of the petition and step aside, then you are the fool. Just be wise. Apply wisdom. Williams Collins. Okay, Williams. Some melody says, like father, like son. I'm just going to skip that comment. Thank you. This shows that politics is killing the development of Nigeria. How Mr. Naji passed all the screening process was through who know who. They refused to screen him thoroughly because he was referred by a big politician. No prayer can solve the problem of Nigeria. Essien from Owerri says, okay, well, I'm officially out of time. Stay with us.